We have a brand new segment. It's called All In CBC. What comic book are you all in on? What are you specking on? What are you looking to maybe flip and make some extra cash? What are you looking to keep, hold, have it, down the line, be able to trade it in for a bigger book you've been looking at? What are you all in on? And to celebrate All In, our first guest joining us on this segment, Jay Dabutcha, Pressable Defects in the house. Thank you so much for joining us, Jay.
What's going on, Jay?
I'm on mute. What is up, guys?
There we go.
Thank you so much for having me. Honored to be here. Can't wait to chop it up with you guys. Just watching you guys backstage, you had so many great points with books and news coming out, man. Really love what you guys are doing with the channel. Really
appreciate it. We're loving what you're doing. Before we get into what you're doing, because we're going to talk about that, Raider Bear, he made a call here. So Dabutcha's having any malt-colored beverages. Now, is that true or false?
It is true. I'm almost done with my about fourth, but I'm ready to go, guys.
All right. Well, we're ready to have you. We're super pumped that you're here. So before we start, though, we do want to talk about what you got going on this Sunday, because you guys made it to 500 subs in a really, really kind of like, it's rather quick, right?
Yeah, so Matt Forge started. He had his channel with Guy Forge. They were doing their thing. They invited me on as a guest. It worked well. I've been in the community for years. I've been on IG for years. I've been collecting for years. We meshed well. I started my own channel. Then we were like, you know what? Let's do something. Let's try to do something big together. But I don't even think of it like that. It's like you guys, man. I just want to have fun. I think the YouTube thing is a great aspect of, your collection. It puts a face to everything. It puts a personality behind your collection. I know Chris touched on earlier, some stuff was going on in the comments. Guys, we lost a big member of the community.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jealousy in the community. Let's be frank. There was a lot of, shit was toxic a little bit. But I think everyone came together. It's all about comic books and the hobby. So I'm glad everyone's having a good time and we're all hanging out. And shows like this, shows like ours, it brings everyone together and everyone it's like almost like hanging out in a bar and just talking comic book with your friends, So very happy to be here, man.
That's what it's all about. That's absolutely what it's all about. And Comic Jabroni, rest in peace. And he definitely was a beloved member.
Absolutely.
Really, really sad news to hear. And there's really no perfect segue into moving on with what we got going on, but we will. And we're going to talk about actually your 500 subs show this Sunday. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. So, guys, I appreciate everybody out there. IG, YouTube, 500 came quick. I think it's, basically keeping it honest and giving people what they want to hear. We're a little R-rated sometimes. Sometimes we get good feedback from that. Sometimes we get bad feedback from it. But like I said, we are who we are, and we move forward with it. As for our 500 giveaway, man, we're giving away a lot of Venom books. I know they're hot right now. I know it's a little cliche, but that's what we're giving away. It's probably we have over $300 in giveaways. Give back to the community a little bit. We appreciate everything that everyone does for us, and we're very humbled by it. And that's it, man. Tune in Sunday, guys, 8 o'clock. We'll be rocking out, giving some stuff away. If you want to enter the giveaway, you could go on our YouTube channel. Just go on to that 500 subscriber giveaway video. Follow the directions, and you're good to go, man. Maybe you win a lot. I think it's like 13 or 14 key Venom books. So,
yep. You're down, guys. They're super hot books. You guys need to go. The link is below. Click on right now. Sub to them and follow the instructions, because you could win these books. They're fantastic. This Sunday, what time this Sunday?
8 o'clock. So usually we follow up. I don't know if you're familiar with Joker. He does a show. Then the cranky Canadian Roger Velez does something.
Speaking of.
Yep. And then we go on. So
Triple Threat live with the cranky Canadian, then East Meets West, closed out by Pressable Defects this Sunday.
And Chris and Jeff, you guys know we all support each other in the community, man.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about this. It's just like I said, a bunch of guys hanging out, talking comic books. It's better than the crap that's on TV nowadays.
Yes.
On a Sunday night, you're either talking comic books or you're watching 90 Day Fiance. So, guys, come on. Pick your poison.
Oh, man.
I love it. All right, so speaking of, we're going to talk comic books because Jay, what are you all in on? And I'm going to bring you up full screen here because we want to see these beautiful books. Jay actually helped us flesh out this idea of this segment. We're going Silver Age, we're going Bronze Age, and we're going Modern. So we really appreciate you kind of helping us flesh out this segment and developing it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So
here we go.
For Silver Age, right off the bat, you know Fantastic Four is being teased by the MCU. You know that Fantastic Four #1 is off the charts right now. For an average collector like myself and most of the people out there, it's a tough book to acquire. You know Doom's coming. You know that FF5 is out of reach for most people, unless maybe you hit a raffle or you have money like that. But I talked to Matt about this, and I think it's going to be Fantastic Four Annual #2. For an everyday collector like, you know, most of the people watching out there, it's the origin of Dr. Doom. This and a Marvel Superhero 20 as Origins are both dope books to get. I think they're going to blow up. You know, Matt said it the best. Once you see that green cape in the MCU, even if you see a flash of a mask or a flash of a green cape, these books are going to absolutely explode. So, beautiful book. This was gifted to me from Gary, from Very Gary Comics. I can't be happier with it. Beautiful copy. It looks great. And this is my all-in for Silver Age, guys. I don't know how you feel. Maybe you feel different, but that's what I'm going for Silver Age.
And we think that's absolutely a good call. He's going to make his. I mean, he's headed to the MCU. It's going to happen. And
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The character, and you guys were talking about movies before. I don't hate on any comic book movie. If there's a comic book movie, I'm flipping through the channels. I'm watching it. I enjoy it. We got into Spider-Woman before. Chris, you're probably a little bit younger than me and Jeff, but I used to love the Spider-Woman cartoons, the 70s cartoons back in the day. They were dope, man.
Right.
Like cartoons back then to the cartoons now, and just like, you know, the hobbies changed and everything's a little bit softer nowadays, but you know.
Look, what do they do with Thundercats?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Even my kids were like, "This ain't Thundercats."
Yeah, and that's what I love about the Disney Channel, because I got a 5-year-old and we pop on X-Men and you know, I got a Batman animated series on Blu-ray and we watch real cartoons, man. You know, it's like, so I kind of put him onto stuff I grew up with, and
that's the best, molding these kids. You know.
Yeah, man, because you gotta, like, come on, it's like it's either we're watching X-Men or Peppa Pig. So, you know,
the Peppa Pig, please.
Yeah.
No more. All right. What do we have? What do we have for the bronze?
All right, for bronze, guys, I might catch a little flack for this. In my opinion, the best Bronze Age book that you could buy is an ASM 129. And I know people out there are going to say it's a Hulk 181. And I'm going to tell you why I like this book a lot better. It's, you know, the value is not as much as a 181, but there's no controversy behind it. You know the controversy between 180 and 181. It's the Punisher. He has a huge cult following. He is going to appear in the MCU, guys, whether it's on a Disney, Disney does their stuff with Hulu or wherever they're going to do their shows. He's going to pop, guys. It's a first appearance. It's a first cover, which I love. I love first cover, first appearance. Those are the best to me. There's no controversy behind this book. He pops in this book, and that's it. It's a beautiful Ramita cover. This is the book, I believe, Bronze Age, I'm all in on. It's an expensive book, but I think you could still get this at an affordable price if you're average Joe collector. And this is what I'm going for my Bronze Age. Love this book. You know, I think I still believe this is an undervalued book. So,
yeah. Roger Levesque wants to know if that's a true cameo appearance.
It's not. It's absolutely not a cameo. And that's the only reason I say the 180, 181, because you know, in my opinion, if you see a character on a panel, that's a first appearance. But it is what it is, and you know, the market dictates, and that's it. You know,
the market does dictate. Yeah. Chris says the whole
thing. I just, in my pre-show on my channel, I got into the controversy over his second appearance because someone was arguing that his second appearance wasn't 135, which is technically industry standard is, and that it was 134 because he appeared on the last panel of 134. And
Absolutely.
I had to kind of, you know, so.
Absolutely.
But I'm with you on that one. And arguably, at least for me, one of the best covers of all time.
Oh, beautiful cover, man. Such a dope cover. You know, a hard book to get in a high grade, but I would take this book in any grade. It's such a pivotal character in Marvel. And, you know, Frank Castle, I'm a big Frank Castle guy. I'm a big Punisher guy. You know, there hasn't been many books about him lately. Kill Crew is probably the last, but I think if you get a good writer, I love Garth Ennis Punisher. A good writer that could do him right, he'll be a huge character. And like I said, it's only a matter of time before he pops in the MCU, and then that book ain't coming back down. It's going to be a high book.
I gotta ask, are you a Bernthal fan?
I love Bernthal, but I'll tell you what, my favorite Punisher movie and my favorite Punisher is by far Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
The darkest Punisher, dude. Like, no, he showed no remorse. That's what Frank Castle should be, and that was a dope movie. Him fighting the Yakuza and the Italian mob. Love that movie, man.
So exciting too that the comic book characters on the screen at that time too. That blew my mind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was a dark movie, man.
Yep.
Such
100%.
You know,
absolutely. All right, so we're gonna move on to your modern pick. Modern all in. What do you got?
Modern all in, guys. 110% going null. He is not slowing down. This book, you know what? My other two books, the first print and the third print, are actually at Trinity Comics getting signed by Cates right now. But look how much hype Null has behind him. And we talked backstage with Chris and Jeff. It's all comic book hype. There's no movie hype behind this character, which is absolutely crazy. Guys, you see these store variants flying off the shelves. Cates is killing it with this and Thor. Null is a character. It's hot right now. I don't suggest buying anything Null right now, his first appearance, that Venom 3. Wait for it to cool off. After the King in Black, you know, things got pushed back. It comes out in December. It's going to be a huge Marvel story arc that goes across the whole Marvel universe. After that, it's going to cool. If you don't think Feige is watching this character and seeing what he's doing comic book sale-wise and, you know, the movement and the following he has behind him, he is going to appear in a Marvel movie. It's too good of a story, and Venom is on fire right now for him to ignore it. So I know it's cliche too, you know, no, it's hot right now. Everyone's all in on Thor and Null, but I think that's a villain that's actually going to hold its value. We see villains in Marvel Comics, you know, they pop in a movie, Thanos shot up, then it came back down. This is going to cool off after December. But once this character, that's the time to buy. Don't buy now, guys, because it's too high. Wait for it to cool down, grab what you can, and then once this character gets solicited for a movie, it's going to be out of control. And we could go back to this video and watch it, and I promise you guys that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's cliche at all, because there's so much substance in what Cates does and how he just grabs from everywhere and makes it all make sense. And the fact that this character is just so hot, there's a reason for that, because it's well written, it's well thought out. It's like, holy cow, this guy started at the beginning of time, and it's just amazing how this character has been incorporated. And again, the point we need to bring up is Feige runs Marvel Comics, okay? His finger is on the pulse, right?
And what I love about this, Jeff, is Cates did the slow burn with it, kind of like Thanos in the MCU. He's trapped on Clintar. He's been there for months since comic book reading. He's been there. This book came out almost 2 years ago. It's August of 2018. He's been around for 2 years. He still hasn't touched down on Earth. He is building this character up, and that's why I believe this character has legs to go.
Totally.
He's going to be a big-time character.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that point, too, because even as you were talking, I was thinking about what was done with the black suit to introduce Venom. And I know that, you know, there wasn't like Todd McFarlane, one person, you know, going back years, but just I think the way that McFarlane took on something that had this established storyline and took from that was very unique itself. And I think Cates definitely understands that. And yeah, I don't think you see that much in today's writings, at least for the last 10 plus years. And I think, Jeff, to your point about Feige at the helm of the books now, I think once we saw the MCU getting started, and when Marvel flipped to Marvel Now in 2012, when we got the reboots every 12 to 16 issues, and they started seeing what is Marvel Studios doing in the movie, let's change what's going on in the comics. I think Feige is going to twist that around and allow the comics to be that creative force again, to where then it's going to play back into the movies in a much more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Organic way, I guess you can say.
Yeah. And Chris, to touch on that, man, I agree with that 100%. And the two reasons why is, one, because the story is so fire right now that it's going to reach people that never even picked up a Venom book. And two, it's going to reach out to all the actual comic book collectors that actually read their comic books. And then they're going to like, you know what? Marvel is on fire with this right now. Feige took Cates' story and ran with it. And that's what it should be, man. Because I'll be honest, man. Like I said, I watched all the movies in the past. I don't like what MCU did with Thor, and I don't like what they did with Hulk. It kind of ruined that last Infinity War for me. Do I love the movie? I love the movie, but I'm a comic book reader, and that Infinity Gauntlet story was so much different. I don't want to see a fat Thor, and I don't want to see a hipster Hulk. I want it to be more true to the comics. As a reader, I think it absolutely watered down that movie, and if it wasn't for the last 40 minutes of that movie, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much.
Interesting. That's very, because I guess it's safe to say you're a purist, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just, they didn't. I don't know why they went in that direction, but they did, and I love the movie. I almost shed a tear at the end, but I just think they could have left that part out and kept it more. We all read Infinity Gauntlet. We all, we know Nebula had a big part of it in taking the gauntlet, and it was different. I enjoyed it, but it watered it down for me. That's why I love that first Infinity movie a lot more than the second. But that's just my opinion,
Yeah, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. But whatever they do with Null, one little thing we have to think about here is I do believe Sony owns the rights to Null. Wouldn't that be the case? Because he's from a Venom book. That's something we need to look into.
I wouldn't have the answer to that. I don't know. Chris would probably know better than me.
Yeah, that's a no pun intended, I guess, but that's a tangled web right there.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe at that point, Sony will be controlled by Apple, and Marvel will not have to worry about it.
Yeah,
actually, yeah. If there's a sale to any other entity Sony has, the rights revert back to Marvel. Marvel doesn't need to pay a cent, so that's a good thing. All right, Jay, thank you so much for your books.
Anytime.
I'm going to move on to my books now, guys, and love to hear what you all think, especially you guys in the comic book section, or in the comment section. So here we go. I'm going to bring me full screen here. My first one, my silver, is Fantastic Four, number 67. This is the first cameo of him. We all know him becomes Warlock. Adam Warlock will be making his way into the MCU. That is my Silver Age pick right there. I know Mike Sears is very happy with that. He has to be, because every week he's like, do you guys even collect silver? We do. We absolutely do. It's just, there's so much good stuff going on with the moderns too. So that's my Silver Age pick, because we're all psyched. We all saw the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We'll name him Adam. I mean, come on. James Gunn has said Adam Warlock will be coming to the MCU. So I would be all in on that for you guys, whether it be Silver Age or any other Warlock, which Chris can speak to. He loves it. He loves his Warlock. No joke. He is that, and believe it or not, that's not what he's even all in on. So.
Oh, there you go, bro. Holy smokes.
So it's safe to say Chris is all in on that. My next book is it's. I'd like to think that a lot of you all are in on this one because I'm all in on this bronze book right here. That is Amazing Spider-Man 252. First appearance of the black suit, the black costume. We all know where this goes. This is the beginning of Venom. Venom is, he's a staple in the Marvel Universe now. He's a main character in the Marvel Universe. And you honestly, it's still affordable. We're talking the Punisher being affordable. This is absolutely affordable. And this is the beginning of Venom. So, again, it's absolutely something you all need to go all in on, in my opinion. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
252, I love, man. It's a who did what's that? A Klaus Janson cover, right? Beautiful cover.
That's a good question, actually.
I believe it is.
It is.
Yeah, beautiful. That's a dope.
No, it's Ron Friends.
Oh, is it? Well,
and Janson.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful cover. Legendary book, man. Both books, even that Warlock. He was teased in the movies already. You saw the Cocoon. We're gonna call him Adam. Another disappointment in Infinity Gauntlet because he was such a big character in that movie, man. Like, how do you have that movie without Adam Warlock? He is the, so that's where it differs. But I know we can't compare oranges to apples, whatever. But both those books, the 252, I have a high grade. Love that book.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. And you're Fantastic Four. I think two great choices that I'm already all in on. Yeah,
absolutely. Again,
I think with the black suit too, and I talked about this on my channel in a video I did a couple weeks ago about when we see Tom Holland, and I say when, not if, but when we see Tom Holland get covered with the symbiote, it's done in my opinion. The trilogy, 252, Team Up 141, and Secret Wars 8. Yep. I just think, I think those books are going to see a similar type of increase to what we saw with Ultimate Fallout 4. Maybe not that extreme, but a similar increase because I think they're definitely going to double in value once, kind of like what Jay was saying about once we see the green cape of Dr. Doom. I think it's the same thing for when we see some sort of black on Tom Holland, man, people are going to go nuts.
Absolutely. 100%.
We're all dying to see it. And it's going to happen. They're going to do it right for us because Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3, we deserve better as fans. We all deserve better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so for my last book, I do not have it in my possession right now because it is at CGC right now. But I am all in on this character, guys. All in. And if you guys had any kind of inkling as to maybe I'll get a Miles Morales before he blew up, before Ultimate 4 blew up, this is what you need to be all in on right here, guys. Absolutely. That is the all-new Marvel Now .1, number 1, the first appearance of Kamala Khan. She has the same ingredients as Miles Morales, except she's not a Spider-Man. That's it. That's the only difference here. She has a video game coming out next month, and she has a already confirmed Disney Plus series. Once they name this actress, once this game comes out, once these people start kind of being like, wow, this is a really cool character, which she is, this book is going to blow up. And it's already starting to see some heat, guys. So I would be all in on this if I were you. I would jump on this now because it's only going to get hotter. This is your last chance. I'm telling you guys right now.
Their book is already catching heat. The sparks already started. You guys see it all over IG. You see it on all these different top 10 lists. Hot book. Grab it now because, like Jeff said, only going to get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Going back to Spider-Man, by the way, guys, sure that Tobey Maguire is coming back. I'm not so sure. What happened? Sorry.
I was going to say, though, to Kamala Khan, it's interesting. My oldest son, collected the .1 books through the years from, I believe, 2011 to 2016. So when the hype started going, I was like, I started digging through his boxes, and he had all of the .1 issues except for that year. No. So I'm like, dang, man.
But you got Sam. Is his last name Ryder? The new Nova?
Sam Alexander.
Sam Alexander. He's going to he's next. They're gonna. I mean, hopefully.
that's a $25 book right now, you know,
Yeah.
and that can have a chance to increase. My son had 2 of those, and I have 1, so we got a little something. But I mean, yeah, look, this is, I mean, we talked about it, Jeff, but you know, we are really in an age where I think the development of these characters, you could look at like when we were young, you know, we had a lot of hit or misses. You know, we had Venom, you know, we had like Cable, we had Deadpool, but then we had like, you know, Night Thrasher wasn't a big hit except for, you know, within the New Warriors. Sleepwalker, you know, Darkhawk. All these
I was just gonna
characters
say
that didn't really pan out. But I'm telling you, when it comes to Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, and a couple of these other characters, you know, this new generation is all in on these characters, and I just don't see the hype going away. They are going to be here for the next couple of decades.
Absolutely. They are the future. They are absolutely the future. But speaking of the future is now for your all-in books, Chris. All in. What do you got for us?
All right. It was, man, it's tough. It's really tough. For Silver Age, and I brought this up last week when we were promoting it, and I said, I'm really all in on Cosmic Marvel right now in a whole. And who better to fit that description than Adam Warlock? And you showed a good book, Jeff, which is the Fantastic Four 67. But, you know, this is where he comes out of the cocoon. It's technically the first appearance of him, who later becomes known as Adam Warlock. There are so many hot books and key books around this character that you can get still for an affordable price. That's a really cool thing about this character. And I ultimately think that, oh, by the way, this is Thor 165. The cool thing that I think that has happened is the delay in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Not to say that we ever wanted that James Gunn issue to happen, but I think it's really put the hype and the increase of value in these books kind of at a standstill, to where if we would have already gotten a Guardians 3 where we would have saw Adam Warlock, or if Adam Warlock showed up like at the end of Endgame or something like that, boy. So, and yeah, we know James Gunn is coming back to do a final, his 3-part in the Guardians trilogy. This character is going to pop up. And overall, I mean, he's just an awesome character. Even though we didn't see him in the Infinity Saga, I do believe, because we have a multiverse now, because we know that these Infinity Stones can pop up at any point in time, and I know I'm kind of cheating here, but how about a Warlock in the Infinity Watch storyline? He comes to guard the Infinity Stones. So, I mean, there's so much that the MCU can do with this character for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Roger asked a good question. What is the first appearance of Adam Warlock? Officially, it is Marvel Premiere Collecting Chaos. Thank you for that. Marvel Premiere #1 is Adam Warlock's, as Adam Warlock is his, technically his name. That's his first appearance. That's another hot book right there. Yep. What grade is that?
6.5. Not too shabby.
All right. So what do you got next? What do you got next, Chris?
All right. So now, again, so many things that we could show off for the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age has a lot of movie hype right now, and there's a lot of Bronze Age cosmic spec as well. But I had to go with ASM 129, just like Jay. I had to. This was my holy grail, and I recently got this book. And what did Jay say? What did he say? His was an 8.5. He said, I would have this book in any grade. I have a 3.0, and I agree 100% with him. I would have this book in any grade, and I got a 3.0, and I am happy with it. And it presents amazingly well for a 3.0.
That looks
and
like
again,
a beautiful book, man.
Yeah, just iconic cover. No controversy over a first appearance. This character, I mean, so yeah, this, and I agree. You know, I look at the 3 books from the Bronze Age: ASM 129, Hulk 181, and Giant Size X-Men #1, as those 3 books of that era that are going to stand the test of time, like your Silver Age keys. And this is one of that book that could be right there with Hulk 181, but is not quite at that level yet. but boy, is it getting there. I mean, I've been watching the market for this book a long time. If in anywhere from a 3.0 to even like an 8.0, you could have probably got the book at half price 6 months ago than you can get it right now. And that's
absolutely. I bought that book back. I bought it a year before I got married. 2011. I bought it in 2010. I bought it for $650. It was
Jesus.
Yeah, I bought an 8.0. I cracked it, I pressed it. It was a CGC old label. It came back to 8.5. That was the first slab I bought. I was totally against slabs when I first started collecting, as I'm sure so many other people were. I love the way my books look in Mylar. It's just the way, the collecting went. I don't sell many books, and I would never sell. That's getting passed on to my son. Like Punisher, huge character, man. That book is only gonna. I'm all in on it. I wouldn't say anything else. I'm, comic book canon, all in on those 3 books.
Now, all right, we have one more book that Chris is going to be showing us, but Isaac points out this is good. You're pointing it out here, Isaac. I get it. Come on now, where's the DC? Is anybody all in on DC books? Oh man, what do we got? This is our last chance right here, Chris. You can't switch it up either. You can't switch.
I'm not going to switch it up, and I'm going to say it's not DC. But I'll say this. I'll look. I love DC. Like 40% of my collection is DC, almost. But here's the thing: you got to understand, and I know it's not everything, but DC has failed over the last 7 years at really bringing in speculative hype from outside of anything but the comic books themselves because of the disarray with the DCEU. And again, don't attack me here in the comments, guys. I know that movie hype isn't everything. I can probably speak for us 3 on the show today that we are collectors and readers of the books first and foremost before the movies. But you got to understand that we're in a multimedia area or age, and movies, video games, TV shows, all these things are really interconnected. So I think it really is tough to look at books that are, one, still decently affordable that you can be all in on, that aren't thousands of dollars like a Detective Comics 27 or something like that. Or that we could come here and say, I'm all in on this because my pocketbooks can afford it. And there's possible speculative hype that might drive the value. So if that makes sense, I just had to put that out there because I want everyone to know. I'm sure we all love DC, but right now, man, it's just like Marvel strong. So, I mean, with that being said, I got to show another Marvel book. And look, I'm a Spidey guy, and I got my Raw and my 9.2 graded. This probably would have come back better than a 9.2. I probably sent the wrong one in. But we got Amazing Spider-Man number 4, first appearance of Silk. Another one of those characters we were just talking about. I said, when you look at Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, and a few others, this is another one right here. To be quite honest, I think that Silk has the ability to have more longevity than even Spider-Gwen, because I think Spider-Gwen already is kind of convoluted. Yeah. She's a clone of a clone of a clone from another dimension. And here you have a character that is fresh in her own, even though she's technically another spider-type woman. I mean, 2 copies of the book. I most likely will get the other one graded. I might look to flip one of those, and I'm not a seller myself, but hey, if this book continues to shoot up and I can sell one and, get a a Silver Age or Bronze Age book that's more me, I'd be willing to do so. So I'm all in on this book for kind of a variety of reasons. One, because of the character itself and what you can do with having multiple books, right?
Cindy Moon is on fire. No coming back down from that book.
No. But it fits. Your point of Spider-Gwen being a little bit convoluted, this fits. It's believable that spider could have bit somebody else. You know what I mean? And that's what was so cool. It's like, wait a minute, that's awesome. And so I 100% I would agree with that. So, I think we got a diverse collection here of our all-in books. We're going a little over here. Jay, I want to be respectful of your time, too. We had a few comments. We have many comments here in the comment section. We had a few people that left some stuff, left some comments in the Instagram feed. Real quick, just want to go over those real quick. Anthony36M, I'm all in on Daredevil. At some point, I think we're going to see him again, whether it's Charlie Cox or someone else taking the role. What better villains than the Kingpin and Bullseye on the big screen? I'd hold on to Daredevil 131. I'd like to get my hands on Amazing Spider-Man 50, first appearance of Kingpin. I mean, yeah, that'd be amazing. And D'Onofrio was fantastic as Kingpin. I hope those guys kind of integrate back in. So absolutely would love to see that. This goes to what, we've all been saying here is that Venom and Thor these days, Ben Parker comics. I feel like I'm all in on Venom and Thor. I've never gone nuts over variants, Jay. Yeah. But I'm scooping these ones up as fast as I can. I mean, the art's on these comics so different than what we had in the 70s and 80s when I got into collecting. Yeah, absolutely. Jay, you're kind of going nuts yourself.
Yeah, so guys, listen. This is just me talking personally. Jeff, Chris, you might have different opinions. I collect the story variants because they're cool covers and I like them. They will absolutely hold no value compared to a ratio variant or actual Marvel release. In my opinion, that could change. People have argued the fact with me. The only store variant that I've seen ever hold value was that Venom with the Gauntlet. It held its. You look a year back from now, guys, and you look at these Venom 26, 27, 28, unless you're in love with the cover, like I'm in love with a couple of the covers. I buy it for the art. But if you're looking to invest, get those ratio variants, guys. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but store variants, you've seen it with I'll give you an example. The first Knoll cover, where it's Frankie's Comics #5, where you see him on the cover. Look at where that Knoll third print is right now. The proof is in the pudding, guys. Collect the art. If you like the book, grab it. I do, but don't expect that long haul investment to last in these store variants, guys. Yep.
It goes. We could talk about store variants with my IG mystery box, but we'll save that story for another time because that was a little ridiculous. All right, so we had two more to show here. I'm all in on Venom and the Dark Knight's Metal. Dark Knight's Metal is something we did not bring up, guys, but that is just crushing it with a Batman who laughs and Robin King and those kinds of things. That's exciting to see because it's good. Again, there's a lot of heat on DC as well these days too. So it's again only good for the industry. And I think Jay, you were talking. I can't remember where you were talking about it. How Marvel needs DC, DC needs Marvel. They need that competition there.
Yeah, you need that. And like Isaac, I read DC too, not as much as Marvel. And if I could just give a quick all in on a DC book, it would be Omega Men 3. I think Lobo is a book you could grab for like $40 that you will be happy with. And if he was brought to the big screen, he could relate to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I know we're pressed for time, but that would be my DC book. Would absolutely be first appearance of Lobo. Because that's a cool ass character, man, and I think he could do big things on the silver screen.
Yeah, 100%. He's a unique character, even though he was based off of Wolverine when he first came in. But he's out there. He's crazy, cool alien, bounty hunter type dude. That's a great call. All right, and our final one here, Slaughterhouse Slabs, which is a great name, Slaughterhouse Slabs. I'm all in on minor keys related to the X-Men. Any first appearance is fair game with Kevin Feige at the helm, as everyone is focused on Omega Red and Rogue. I'm focused on Warlocks and the Brood. For me, the return on investment way better. Yeah, those books are I mean, like night and day. I can't see my hands here, but you know what I mean. Like if you're going to see a graph of where Rogue is, where Omega Red is right now, which is amazing, as opposed to the Warlocks or the Brood, definitely not as high up. And the Brood would be, I mean, you could see that being integrated into the cosmic, the cosmic element, the cosmic aspect of the MCU.
Yeah, I'd like to say that that's on point too. And that's why, I just picked up the first appearance of Banshee in the lower grade for like $23. There's so much. And talk about Wolverine, hitting the MCU. So a lot there with X-Men, a lot of minor keys you can get. Mr. Sinister, a very underrated villain that has never been in a live action X-Men yet. I mean, there's so much there, similar to Cosmic, So you can really pair that up. The only difference with X-Men is, and this is probably good. Well, I wouldn't say. I would just say there's a lot of minor keys outside of the Silver Age that you could still really get affordable. Where some of the cosmic stuff is probably still more towards the Silver Age. With that, where the price point might be a little higher, but man, once we get something on screen with the X-Men, watch has so many books.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Forge is he's a character that really not many people are talking about now, and that's a good return on investment as well because it's not expensive. And also, Guy, I'm all in on Black Adam. Wait till this weekend. I guarantee you something's going to happen tomorrow with Black Adam. We're going to see something tomorrow. And they're going to blow the shit out of the water tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow. So get your Black Adam books tonight. All right. So that is All In. Jay, thank you so much for joining us on All In.